Islam, one of the world's largest religions.
Islam has greatly impacted world history, and even today it is the center of a religious clash that has been continuing for centuries. But how did such a large religious movement even begin? Well, our story begins in Saudi Arabia, with a young child who lives in a world of despair and constant warfare. When Muhammad was younger, his parents had both died, so his uncle took him and had him work as a shepherd initially. When Muhammad reached his teen years, he began to manage caravans, and he met peoples of many different nationalities and religions, such as Christians, pagans, and Jews. After maturing, Muhammad had been hired by what would then be his wife, Kaji, a wealthy Meccan widow. They were happily married and together. But it would seem God had other plans for Muhammad, literally. One time during a visit to a cave in Mount Hijrah, Muhammad received his first revelation from God here, marking the beginning of a religious giant, Islam. Muhammad is commanded by the angel Gabriel to begin writing what will eventually become the basic rule book for Islamic knowledge, the Quran, and he heeds the angel's words. He returned home to inform his wife of the revelation, and the initially startled Kaji became his first Islamic convert.
The 5 tenets of Islam, commonly referred to as the 5 pillars, are basic mandatory acts to be completed by the Muslim believers and is highly important foundation of a true Muslim life. These tenets were given to Muhammad by the angel Gabriel. The first pillar is the Shahada, or faith. This pillar is a declaration of faith to pronounce that there is only one God, Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. The second pillar is Salah, or prayer. Salah consists of 5 daily prayers. While they do have a specified calendar for one to follow, a follower can choose to do them at their leisure, as long as the 5 prayers are completed. The third pillar is zakat, or charity. This pillar is simple, and it encourages followers to give up monetary wealth, good deeds, good behavior, or general assistance to others. The fourth pillar is swam, or fasting, to show their dependence to their God. The last pillar is Hajj, pilgrimage to Mecca. In remembrance of Muhammad's pilgrimage to Mecca, a follower has to go from their current area of living to Mecca to pray at the Kaaba stone. While it is suggested that the followers make the Hajj annually, it is also acceptable to go at least once in their lifetime.
Muhammad began to preach and spread his religion, but the rate of conversion was nearly abysmal. During his first 3 years of ministry, he only gained 40 followers. As his new religion spreads, threatening the normal Meccan life gains followers, they are quickly prosecuted. So Muhammad and his followers begin the Hijrah, a holy journey from Mecca to Medina.
Muhammad and his teachings were disgraced by the Meccans, so after Muhammad's hijrah back to Medina, Muhammad had returned with soldiers to fight and conquer Mecca. The Muslims of Medina, led by Muhammad, had gathered some 300 infantry, 2 horses, and 70 camels. However, the defending Quraysh of Mecca had nearly tripled the size of infantry and camels, but had 50 times the amount of horses. The Muslims were, by definition, totally outnumbered. However, the Muslims had miraculously beat the Quraysh, thanks to what only could be explained as divine intervention. The Quraysh had lost 70 soldiers, and 70 were imprisoned. However, the Muslims had only lost 14.
And Muhammad himself goes into the Kaaba and tears down the relics and shrines of all other gods, to further push his only message: Allah was the true and only God. Over time, the Muslim populations in both Medina and Mecca both grew to be majorities in their respective cities due to Muhammad's massive influence. Although Islam has seemingly humble beginnings in a cave on Mount Hijrah, Its message ended up spreading remarkably well and has come to change human history as we know it. Many developments in science and math were made in Muslim territories while Europe was experiencing its dark ages. These contributions had helped us advance and evolve. Islam is now the world's second largest religion, with over 1.8 billion followers across the world. Its humble origins have grown into a tale of perseverance and struggle for power, and we can take much from this tale.